Sometimes the people who should protect you are the ones holding the knife. I need to tell you about Thanksgiving 2023, not because I want sympathy, not because I'm still angry, but because what happened that day taught me something about betrayal that I didn't understand before. Sometimes it's not the affair that breaks you. It's realizing how many people knew and chose their side. My name's Owen. I'm 36, working commercial HVAC installation, been married to Lauren for 8 years. Marriage, I thought. We had our issues like anyone else, but nothing that felt fatal. She worked in pharmaceutical sales, traveled sometimes, made good money. We had a nice house in the suburbs, 2 dogs, talked about kids eventually. Normal life. Her family lived about 40 minutes away. Her parents, Todd and Patricia, owned a small chain of urgent care clinics, upper middle class country club types. They'd never been openly hostile toward me, but there was always this underlying current of disappointment maybe, like Lauren could have done better than a guy who fixes air conditioners. Her younger brother, Brandon, was a litigation attorney. He definitely inherited their condescension, but they were family. And when Patricia called in mid-November to confirm we were coming to Thanksgiving, I didn't think twice. Of course we'll be there, I said. What can we bring? Oh, just yourselves, she said. There was something in her voice, a brightness that felt forced. We're actually having a few extra people this year, making it a bigger celebration. That's great, I said. More the merrier. Lauren was in the shower when I got the call. When I told her about it later, she got quiet. What's wrong? I asked. Nothing, just, my family can be a lot, you know. Big gatherings stress me out. I thought she was just anxious about the usual family dynamics. Looking back, she was probably panicking. The week before Thanksgiving, I noticed Lauren was on her more than usual, texting constantly, smiling at the screen, then quickly locking it when I walked in the room. One night, I heard her on a call in the garage at 11 p.m. When she came back in, I asked who it was. Just Danielle from work, she said. She's having issues with a client. I nodded, didn't push it. I trusted her. 3 days before Thanksgiving, I got home early from a job. Lauren's car was in the driveway, but she wasn't inside. I found her in the backyard on the phone again, pacing. I stepped out. She saw me and her face went white. I have to go, she said into the phone and hung up immediately. Everything okay? I asked. Fine, just work stuff. You've been on the phone a lot lately. It's a busy quarter. She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. I'm going to hop in the shower. That night something told me to check our phone bill online. I'm not proud of it, but I did. There was one number she'd been texting and calling constantly. Hundreds of messages. Calls that lasted 30-40 minutes. I didn't recognize the number. I thought about confronting her. But part of me wanted to be wrong, and another part of me, maybe the smarter part, wanted to see how far this went before I made a move. Thanksgiving Day arrived. We drove to her parents' house in separate cars. Lauren said she might stay later to help clean up, wanted me to have the option to leave early if I got tired. At the time, I thought she was being considerate. I pulled up to Todd and Patricia's place around 2 p.m. Big colonial house, perfectly landscaped. There were more cars than usual in the driveway. Lauren had gone ahead to help set up. When I walked in, the house smelled like turkey and cinnamon. Patricia greeted me with a hug that felt stiff. Owen, so glad you're here, she said. Go on into the living room, everyone's gathering. I walked in. Brandon was there with his wife Kelsey, Lauren's aunt and uncle, a few cousins I recognized, and then I saw a guy I'd never met, mid-30s, athletic build, expensive-looking sweater. He was standing near the fireplace laughing at something Todd said, and Lauren was right next to him, not touching but close, comfortable. I walked over. Hey, I said. Lauren turned. For a split second I saw panic flash across her face. Owen, hey, this is Garrett. He's a colleague of mine from the regional office. Garrett extended his hand. Great to finally meet you, man. Lauren talks about you all the time. I shook his hand. His grip was firm, confident, and there was something in his eyes, not hostility, but something close to pity. Didn't realize we were bringing coworkers to Thanksgiving, I said lightly. Oh, Garrett's practically family, Patricia said from behind me. He's been wonderful to Lauren during some tough times. Tough times. I looked at Todd. He wouldn't meet my eyes. Brandon smirked into his beer. That's when I understood. They all knew. This wasn't a surprise to anyone except me. This was orchestrated. They'd invited him. Lauren had agreed to it, and her entire family had chosen to humiliate me in the most passive-aggressive way possible. I felt my chest tight, but I didn't explode. I didn't yell. I smiled. Excuse me a second, I said. I walked into the kitchen, pulled out my phone, and opened the voice recorder app. I hit record and slipped it into my shirt pocket. Then I walked back into the living room and sat down. For the next hour I listened. I watched. Todd asked Garrett about his job. Turns out he's a regional VP for the same pharmaceutical company Lauren works for. Brandon asked how he and Lauren met. Oh, we've been working closely for about 8 months now, Garrett said, smiling at Lauren. She blushed. 8 months. Patricia asked Garrett about his hobbies: golf, cycling, wine tasting. Not once did anyone acknowledge how insane this was. At one point, Lauren's aunt leaned over and whispered to me, "Handling this so well, very mature." I just nodded. When we sat down for dinner, there was a seat open next to Lauren. Garrett sat in it. I was placed at the opposite end of the table. Todd stood to say grace. Lord, we thank you for this meal, for this family, and for the people who bring joy into our lives. He looked directly at Garrett. We're grateful for new friendships and the happiness they bring. That's when I pulled out my phone. I stood up. Everyone looked at me. I just want to say something, I said calmly. Thank you all for making today so clear. Patricia frowned. Owen, I've been recording this whole thing, I said, holding up my phone, every word, every smile, every time you all pretended this was normal. Lauren's face drained of color. Owen, please, I'm going to walk out of here now and I'm going to send this recording to a lawyer. And Garrett, I looked at him. Does your wife know you're here? His face went gray. Yeah, I said. I looked you up while you were all toasting, found your Facebook, cute kids. I turned to Lauren. I'll have the locks changed by tomorrow. You can pick up your things next week. My lawyer will contact you. Then I walked out. No one followed me. I sat in my truck for a minute, hands shaking. Then I sent the recording to my email, backed it up, and forwarded Garrett's information to my lawyer with a note, possible alienation of affection claim. I drove home, packed Lauren's essentials into trash bags and left them on the porch. The next morning, Patricia called 16 times. Todd sent a long email about overreacting and misunderstanding the situation. Brandon texted, "You're making this harder than it needs to be." Lauren showed up at the house crying. I didn't open the door. Garrett's wife filed for divorce 2 weeks later. Apparently, Lauren wasn't his first affair. Lauren tried to fight the divorce, but the recording made things complicated for her. Her lawyer advised her. To settle, we finalized everything in 4 months. I kept the house, split the assets evenly, walked away clean. I haven't spoken to her family since that day. Last I heard, Lauren and Garrett broke up 3 months after my divorce was finalized. Turns out their relationship didn't work as well without the thrill of secrecy. I'm doing okay now. Better than okay, actually. I started my own HVAC business. Dating someone new, a teacher named Alicia who thinks fixing air conditioners is genuinely interesting. But sometimes I still think about that Thanksgiving, not with anger, more like clarity, because I learned something important. Betrayal isn't just about what someone does to you, it's about who stands by and watches it happen. And sometimes the quietest exit is the loudest statement you can make. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and leave a comment below. And make sure to subscribe for more videos like this one.